Hello. How are things?
Yeah, they're good. Good.
Good. All right. So we have a lot of StarCraft to talk about today.
Okay.
You want to talk about the discovery you made on the StarCraft subreddit?
Yeah, I found it on the subreddit, which means the discovery is not really credited to me.
No. But I mean, you still discovered it for yourself, I guess is what I was trying to say.
Sure. Yeah. So hallucinated units can do real damage.
Which is fantastic. That makes me so
That
happy.
is beyond amazing. Oh, God.
Yeah. So bottom line, if you come in with an anti-armor missile and drop it on some units, and then you have a Protoss player simultaneously hallucinate some units and attack the anti-armored units with the hallucinated units, they will take a lot of damage.
They will take some damage, yes.
It varies. Yes, it varies on the unit. But in particular, Archons die real fast to anything.
Yep.
Because of the way there's some math in here. I'm bad at math. Do you want to explain the math, or do we not care?
So basically, hallucinated units damage is dealt over both shields and health at the same time. And because Archons have 10 health, they might as well ignore the shields and instantly kill it. The way the way it kind of works is the anti-armor missile gives everything minus 3 armor, right? So I think if something had plus 3 armor, it wouldn't work, right? But because the hallucinated attacks are attacks from the hallucinated unit, they just do so little damage it rounds to 0, or it's supposed to. But with minus 3 armor, it does 3 damage.
Right.
Yep.
Because
math.
math. So is this a scenario where Archons can die when they still have shields?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
I don't think there's any other scenario in all of StarCraft where that's possible.
Yep.
It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah. That's so cool. So obviously no 1v1 implications, as Omicron pointed out to me because I'm an idiot. But yeah, in 2v2 and other team games, you can do a lot of damage with this. That was fun. That was a fun little bug that was discovered. I wonder how long it's been around.
I imagine a couple years at this point.
You think so?
I think it's been there since the anti-armor missile came in.
Well, but there have been so many different variations of the anti-armor missile over time. Like you're talking about the current iteration?
Yeah, the introduction of Dorito dust. Right, when it got that like orange splash over everything, I assume that's when it's been there.
That's been a while. Yeah, okay. I can see that. Just wasn't discovered until relatively recently and entirely by accident, I assume.
Yeah, I assume so as well. It's not like someone was going back and analyzing Huck versus Idra and being like, you know what, I think there's something there.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody wasn't like, they say hallucinated units don't deal any damage, but let me try every single scenario to make sure that's the case.
Yeah. I wonder if
people should start doing that stuff now, honestly.
Yeah, I wonder if hallucinated storm does damage.
Can you cast?
I assume so. Because if you have a void ray, you can hallucinate prismatic alignment, I believe, to make it look like it's doing more.
That's incredible.
Maybe not. Who knows?
Hallucinations? No, I thought so. Hallucinations are unable to do anything but the 5 basic functions: move, stop, attack, patrol, hold ground.
Okay.
It may be constructed to attack and will appear to do so, but attacks do no damage. So no spellcasting, no special abilities.
Is that Liquipedia?
Ah, crap. That's Brood War. Hold on. I did SC2 in my search, Google.
I was going to say, if that's Liquipedia, you should edit it so it doesn't say appear to do damage. They do damage.
Yes. StarCraft 2. The Sentry, blah, 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 blah. Why is there not a Liquipedia link for hallucination in StarCraft 2? Hold on. Okay. I got it. Reading real fast because that's what I do. Hallucinations deal no damage. Have no active abilities. Take double the damage their counterpart would take for all attacks, and don't have any health armor or shield
abilities. Armor.
That's what it says. I guess you can't cast anything is what that means.
I assume so.
Yep. Cool. So we learned things. Yes, I should edit this to be like, totally deals damage sometimes. And then they'll be like, stop doing trolley edits to Liquipedia.
The hallucinated immortal do possess hardened shield.
Really?
Yeah, however, due to the nature of hallucinations taking twice the damage, this results in 20 shield damage. So if they use it, they take damage.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's just an auto enable though, right? It's not like...
Yeah, it should trigger whenever they get hit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, that's incredible. So don't hallucinate immortals, I guess. Bad.
Yeah.
They die so fast.
Yep.
Faster than regular hallucinated stuff. Good. Solid. I'm glad we learned something today.
Yep.
All right. Well, in other StarCraft news, Katowice has been doing some stuff. Like as part of the innumerable rounds and games played before we actually get to the stupid thing. Today, the 24th, when we're recording this, are is the offline qualifier bracket number 2. So we had a lot of players. We had fun people. We had TLO, Haz was involved, Innovation, Probe, Bly, Neeb. That's pretty much the names that we care about here. I don't think I'm missing anyone except for Probe was there. Yay, Probe!
Oh, he did stuff.
He won a game. That was nice. Single match.
Did he?
That's what I'm seeing. He got 2-1 versus Skillis.
Oh, nice.
And then he went to the losers round and got 2-0 by Vanya. Are those both Russians? No. No, Skillis is Russian and Vanya is Russian. Oh, man. What a bad day for Probe.
No shame in losing to Skillis. Neeb lost to Skillis.
That's true. There's no shame in losing to Skillis.
Well, hold on.
In a PvP.
Probe took a map of Skillis. Skillis 2-0 Neeb. Therefore, Probe is better than Neeb.
Accurate.
Yep.
Accurate statements.
It's true.
Get the t-shirt printed. But yeah, that's just Neeb getting 2-0'd by Bly in the quarterfinals of the winners bracket, and then getting 2-0'd by Skillis in the losers round 3. It's not a good day for Americans. Let's just say that.
No.
It wasn't exactly a murderer's row of talent here today, with the exception of Innovation, obviously. But like it seemed pretty doable that at least one American would make it somewhere. Nope. All the Americans thoroughly stunk it up. So way to go, guys. Appreciate the support and the reasons you give me to cheer for my own country.
USA.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. No, that's only when they win. Never mind. It'll never be said again.
Again, I've said this on the podcast. I'm not saying I need the U.S. to win everything all the time. I just need them to compete.
They are competing. We competed.
No, we invented the game. We invented StarCraft. It was invented on our hallowed shores. I just don't want us to suck. And right now we suck.
Do you though? I don't know. I feel like Neeb.
Today we do.
Well, yeah, today you had a poor showing. That doesn't mean you suck.
Oh, all right.
Right? Like, there are lots of countries out there that don't even have one good player.
True.
And you have at least 2.
Did they create StarCraft?
Is that relevant?
Yes.
No.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is. It is.
That's like saying Henry Ford invented the car, therefore Americans... not Americans. Wherever Henry Ford's from, I can't remember. Is he American? I don't know. Doesn't matter. They should be the best drivers. It doesn't matter.
I did not say best. I said I want America to not suck. That's all I want. Mediocrity.
You don't have players that suck. You have some good players.
True.
And especially if you expand it to North America, not just USA.
I'm not expanding it to North America, obviously.
You should.
Or I'd feel better about things.
You should. The other players are way better than yours.
True.
Although, Scarlet.
So anyway, so bottom line, Haz comes out of it through the losers bracket, which is hilarious. Love that. He had a mothership recall against
I was watching that
Bly.
game. Yeah, that was against Bly. Bly who refused to tap out when he really should have. But
he was 1 base to a 2 base Protoss. Like, you're not winning that game, Bly.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. And so Haz was like, all right, let's bring out the memes. And he did an old Brood War style recall the army into the Zerg base move. It was awesome.
And
Made
then
me laugh.
he got there and it was like, oh, there's 2 lurkers and I don't have detection.
Yeah. That's going to delay this win a little bit.
Yeah.
And it did.
By about 40 seconds while he chronoed out an oracle.
Yeah, there we go. Because, he had the Stargates already.
It's true.
Anyway, yeah. So Armani comes out, the Korean Zerg player, Innovation, and Haz. So all 3 races represented out of this bracket number 2.
Nice.
Yeah, way to go. Then bracket number 1, which was also today. There is so much StarCraft. Holy smokes.
Lots of StarCraft.
Yeah, so this one involved players such as Hero Marine, Soul, Denver, Straya, Patience, SOS, Creator, Showtime. I mean, this was a little bit more of a stacked bracket, I would say, based on the names I just read off there.
Sure, I can agree with that.
Yeah. Hero Marine doing some good stuff early, but unfortunately unable to qualify, ending up falling to Patience, a Protoss player 2-1 in the winner's bracket, and then to Showtime 2-1 in the loser's bracket. So this was a very Protoss victorious, Protoss heavy winning bracket. I don't know how to say that.
Do you want to take it one more time? Give it another shot.
No, I don't think I have it. You want to try?
This is a very Protoss heavy bracket.
Well, that doesn't imply they won the whole thing, though.
But
that's
they
what
did.
I'm trying to go for.
But they did.
They did. Yeah.
3 Protoss made out of it. To be fair,
Yeah.
there's 1 Zerg.
Yes, and to be fair, there were like a billion Protoss to every other race. So there were 4 Terrans, a Zerg, and all the Protoss. Right. So, Zerg OP, man. In fairness, I mean, it was it's Denver was here. Denver 2-0 Innovation, man. What's up with him?
Well, I don't know.
2-0 by Soul. I mean, Soul's really good, in fairness. Soul's playing super well.
Was Innovation awake for that game?
The 2 games that he got 2-0'd by Denver? Maybe not.
No, maybe not. Maybe he was AFK and didn't realize.
Maybe. That'd be embarrassing. Man. But then he got 2-0'd by Awers, a Ukrainian Zerg who No, he 2-0'd Awers, sorry. And then he got 2-1 by Mana, which...
Fair.
I don't know. Yeah, fair. Mana's been around for so long. Which is funny, because I figured he was White Raw age.
Okay.
Because he's been around forever. No, that is not the case.
Okay.
Mana's 26?
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, he's 26. And White Raw is
33.
39.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, massive difference. I totally thought Mana was the same age range. No, not even close. So, I don't know. I just figure anybody who was playing at a super high level in Brood War is old now, but that is not the case, man.
Mana is 16 days older than me and significantly better at StarCraft.
Yes, both Brood War and StarCraft 2.
That's depressing.
So good job by him. But then Mana subsequently got 2-0'd by a Korean player, Zaun. I have no idea who that is, but PvP did not go his way.
Yeah. Zaun. Who is this?
Zaun?
Zaun Team Alpha X?
I've never heard of this player ever.
No. He was on SK Telecom.
Oh, wow. Okay, so he dates back. He's not brand new.
No. Yeah.
So, yeah, Patience, SOS, and Showtime get out of here. Way to go, SOS. It's been a while for him, I feel like.
He was making plays to get to BlizzCon last year, wasn't he? That last GSL or whatever. People were like, "Oh, it's SOS's time," and then he did nothing at BlizzCon.
Yes,
right.
That's true.
So
yep, that's accurate.
Maybe it's just the long play,
It's just setting up for 2020.
Yeah.
That sounds like SOS. People always say he never really competes unless there's a lot of money on the line. Katowice prize pool is not bad.
Certainly nothing to sneeze at.
No. So yeah, that bracket number 1, if you like PvP, this was the bracket for you. There was so much PvP. which I kind of miss the days. PvP was like, who can make the most Colossus? It was just like War of the Worlds the whole time. That's what Wings of Liberty PvP was. It was amazing.
I feel like if someone goes, I'm just going to make a bunch of Colossus, the other player just goes, I'm just going to make Void Rays, and then they win.
Yeah, Void Rays were garbage back then, though, so that was a good answer.
Okay, fair enough. Yep.
They've been buffed quite a bit, and Colossus have been nerfed, so there you go. Anyway, yeah, Hero Marine not making it through. People were bummed about that. They wanted to see him do it. He actually got knocked out. I'm pretty sure you've seen this Twitch clip by now. But somebody clipped it. It was like really close match. Hero Marine was down to his last bunch of Marines and Marauders, and then Showtime just slipped a little Purification Nova in there.
I
Ball
have
game.
not seen this.
It was all over Twitter today. Everybody was retweeting it because it was just this like series deciding Nova.
Nope.
Oh, I know where I can find it. Hold on. 2 seconds.
I've seen a gif of Kalaris like doing a little dance with his leather jacket.
That sounds hot.
I think someone complimented him on it, that's all.
Gotcha.
He was happy.
Sure. Leather jacket. Good stuff. Never mind. I can't find it. I thought somebody put it in the Pylon Show Discord, but that was a total lie. Or they deleted it. I don't know. Whatever. I'll find it, and we will put it in the show notes, in case you haven't seen it.
Okay.
I mean, if you can imagine it, right? It's a small group of Marines and Marauders, and then a Disruptor goes, boop,
yes,
and they all died.
I can imagine.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're on the same page here. All right, so Patience, Showtime, and SOS qualified. Has Innovation and Armani qualified. So far, so good. Pretty happy with how things are going. Some interesting, fun players in here. I mean, everybody's pretty much a stalwart except for Armani. Armani's newer and younger. And I'm saying that he's probably like 25. No, he's 23. He's a baby. Yeah.
Not quite a baby. He's not quite Clem, right?
No, he's not that baby, but he's got wins dating back to 2013. Holy crap, dude. Okay, so he was winning stuff when he was... Do the maths. 23 minus 7. Is that 14?
That's 16.
16? Thank you.
So. I think so.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, so when he was 16, he was winning stuff against decent opponents. So, yeah, he's been around a while. It's good to see him kind of doing some bigger stuff here recently, though. I'm excited. I'm always excited when a new younger Zerg shows up because I feel like we don't get as many of those. I guess Rainer counts, though, so I should stop complaining.
For sure. Yep.
For sure, I should stop.
Yeah, you complain a lot, so.
It's true. It's true. I should knock that down.
Yep.
All right. So then we have, believe it or not, 2 more brackets, which by the time this thing posts will be done because they're scheduled for the 25th.
I think the entire tournament will be done by the time this posts.
Think so?
I think so.
Where is my schedule? I don't know. When's the final thing supposed to be played? I can't find it.
In 5 days' time.
Okay. Well, yeah, the whole thing will be done. So,
do we want to come back in like 3 days after the bracket, the group stages already, so we can like talk about those? And then we can do the comeback again maybe for when the playoffs are ready.
Yes, that sounds great.
Yeah, all right.
More work for you, but yeah.
No, it's not hard to like stitch them together. I just say and cut, and then when we start, I'll just say and now, and that's where I'll stitch them together. It'll be fine.
Okay, cool. That sounds fantastic. We'll do that.
All right.
Okay. Nailed it. So it's good to be able to be talking about high-level StarCraft for 2020. It feels like it's been a while.
It has.
So
it's February 20-something, right?
Yeah, it is.
By the time this comes out, it'll be, the leap year day, probably.
Yes.
We've been missing some high-level StarCraft.
We have.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good to have it returned.
For sure.
Excellent. Well, good. What else is going on in the world? So the coronavirus thing isn't going away, which is unfortunate.
Did you expect it to just go away?
I figured there was a decent chance it would just kind of fizzle out and just stop being in the news after a couple of weeks.
Okay.
But no, that is not the case at all. There's quarantines happening in places like Korea. Italy seems to have an outbreak for some reason. I don't know why, and neither do they, which is extremely terrifying. The Atlantic has an article posted today called "You're Likely to Get the Coronavirus."
It doesn't sound like fear-mongering.
No, but it explains most cases are not life-threatening, which is why it makes the virus a historic challenge to contain, right? It's not killing people, so they're wandering around interacting with others while they have it.
Okay.
Did I talk about the Debt of Honor terrorist thing in the podcast?
No.
So Tom Clancy, known for his America jingoistic perspective on the world and how America's awesome, he wrote a book called Debt of Honor, wherein these terrorists want to unleash a biological weapon in the U.S.,
Okay.
so they find a case where Ebola exists in Africa. And they basically breed it and like weaponize it.
Okay.
And then they fly a bunch of people to the U.S., have them go to different conventions, like this is a car convention, or this is a convention of marketers, or here's a computer convention.
Right.
And release it all on the same day to these people that are coming from all over the country. And then they go home and spread it, right?
Right.
Genius. And yeah, it spreads like crazy. It's super lethal and it's super contagious. But the only thing that saves America entirely is that it kills people too fast.
Okay, so everyone just dies before they spread it.
Yeah, like people. What the ideal thing here, if you're trying to kill people, or you're a virus trying to spread, is this: people don't feel necessarily too ill to not go out. Right? They still go out and they go to work, they go to school, and they spread it, and then they die. But this one was like you caught it, and within like 24 hours, you're just dead.
Okay.
Yep. And I mean, maybe not dead, but you're feeling like you're dying, so you're not leaving your house.
Right. Or, even less worse scenarios, you go to the hospital and you get treated and then you put in quarantine, but you're still not spreading it, right?
Yeah. Better option, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, depends on the point of view. From the person's perspective, better option. From the virus trying to spread, not better option.
Worse option, correct.
Yeah,
Quarantines are bad for viruses.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, Clancy was pretty straight up in the book. Like, he has the characters outright say the only reason this wasn't like 28 days later is because it killed people too fast. That's the only thing that saved us. They didn't quite engineer this correctly. So, yeah, that has stuck with me. I read that book probably in like 1996. It's been a really long time, and boy, do I remember that. So, yeah, that's what this is. Basically, coronavirus doesn't kill people. You have to be pretty much elderly or very young or already very ill to die from it. But that means that people are getting it, not feeling terrible, and wandering around and shaking hands with people.
And then it's kind of like turns out it's slow to kill you, right? It makes you kind of, a bit queasy for a few weeks, and you walk around, you spread it, and then it's like you start bleeding out of everything.
Right. That is the ideal from a virus perspective.
Yes. I mean, it could still happen. I've played Plague Inc. on Steam,
Yeah. All I know is the memes from that game where it's like, somebody coughed in Thailand. The Madagascar president closes all its ports.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a fun game. I don't think there's like a whole lot of replayability. But basically, it's you play a virus trying to infect the world, but depending on where you like put your upgrade points into, you can either make it spread faster or make it deadly. And if you make it deadly, it might kill people who are working on the cure and slow that down once it becomes like a public known thing.
Oh, dang. Okay.
But you can also just like put points into it spreading and not into any symptoms, so it can spread before it has no symptoms. Right.
Oh, yeah. That seems more effective.
And then you can, have the entire world's population and then just bank a bunch of points and then be like, oh, it puts everyone into comas. And then, like, overnight, the entire world's population falls into a coma.
Nice. Nailed it. That sounds like a success story to me.
Yeah, definitely a success. But the thing you need to remember is the game will just randomly let your virus or whatever mutate into like coughing or whatever because it's it wants to spread, and that's one of the ways it'll do it. So you have to
screws up your whole plan.
It can screw up your plan, but I imagine that's based on actual viruses mutating, right? Because that's like how viruses become. They mutate from like one host to another. I think I saw somewhere that the coronavirus was actually coming from like a small monkey or like a lizard thing.
Yep. That's what they're saying.
Mm-hmm. And so
bat, maybe? Yeah.
Some sort of an animal.
Yep.
Or a rock. I don't know. I can't remember. Could be either.
Animal or mineral, whatever.
Yeah, same difference. Yeah, so I assume it's theoretically it could just keep mutating into something that actually does kill you quickly.
True fact.
Yeah.
I mean, they're working on a vaccine, from what I've read.
Yeah, I saw that they had a working vaccine, but it was like it's still months of animal trials before we can even think about human subjects.
Correct. It's not close, but it's always nice to hear they're working on it, rather than we have no idea what we're doing. That's always a bad thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. Making vaccines is so difficult, cost-intensive, and high risk that in the 1980s, when drug companies began to incur legal costs over alleged harms caused by vaccines, many opted to simply quit making them.
Well, I mean,
holy smokes! I didn't know this.
What?
To incentivize the pharmaceutical industry to keep producing these vital products, the U.S. government offered to indemnify anyone claiming to have been harmed by a vaccine.
Huh.
That's crazy. So the government's just like, hey, you got hurt by a vaccine, we'll pay you. Like, don't worry about suing the drug companies. We'll handle it. This is where all the anti-vaxxers come from. It's this fact right here.
Well, yeah, I mean, they want to get paid because vaccines gave their kids autism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I never put that together. That's incredible.
Speaking of dumb people, right? Did you hear about the guy that died the other day?
The rocket guy?
Yeah, the rocket guy.
I did.
God. He was like funded by the Science Channel or something.
They were doing a TV show about him.
Yeah,
They're like, hey, people that make their own rockets are interesting TV. And I was like, sure, I guess.
Maybe. But he got into a rocket.
Yep.
Right? Like, there's making your own rockets, and then there's strapping one to your back.
Correct.
And then it's like, oh, he died. I feel like that's that story. Like, there's a story where it's like someone did something, and he died, and you go, well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But apparently he'd been doing this before and didn't die. I'm like, how did I never hear of that story, right?
Yeah, so that's the trick, is that this guy, I don't know, I remember hearing about him back in a long time ago. And yeah, he failed a couple times. One time the local government was like, no, we're not giving you permission to even try this, so he couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, like he succeeded once. So I don't know why he's trying it again, or why he tried it again and died.
I assumed this rocket would take him to a higher altitude because the entire thing was he wanted to get up to a high enough altitude, take pictures of like the horizon, not see the circumference of the Earth because it's flat, and then prove it. You know, and then like have proof, right?
Yeah. Okay.
But his rocket was only going to take him like 5,000 feet up.
Yeah.
Which isn't enough to see curvature.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. These guys are crazy anyway.
Yeah. I mean.
Well, yeah, and like my initial reaction was yours when I heard like the Science Channel was filming it. Why would you film this? Why do you want to film something where there's a virtually guaranteed chance that someone's going to die?
Mm-hmm.
That just seems morbid and exploitive. I don't like it.
For sure, yeah. Okay. I mean, here's the thing. I feel like there are enough cameras anyway that just the act of filming it isn't bad. But being like, I'm going to encourage this. Because I guarantee you, if that guy had just been like, I'm making a rocket, someone come drive me out there, someone would have been like, I'm going to take my phone out and record this. Like, we would have had footage anyway. This way, it's just in 1080.
So you're looking at the greater good.
I mean, I wouldn't call it the greater good.
If he's going to do it anyway, we might as well get it in correct orientation in 1080p.
Right. Well, you want it filmed landscape.
Yeah, like it was better than some idiot filming in vertical.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, that's dark. Good times.
Slightly dark.
Yeah, moderately dark.
But I mean, there's footage of like everything. I feel like we probably would have had footage of it one way or another. So like the specific filming of it, I'm not concerned about. But the encouragement is concerning, especially from like a science channel.
Yeah, but I mean Yeah. I always argue on the side of it is the viewer's fault if a TV show or a news organization is doing anything. Because I always argue they wouldn't do it if it wasn't getting views and clicks and subscriptions.
How do you argue that if it was about the pilot of a show? If it was like Home Rocketeers and it's the pilot they were filming.
Yeah.
And it's like episode, like there's no one watching that yet. They hadn't made the show.
No, but it's market research. They don't greenlight things if they don't think people are going to watch. So if they think people are going to watch, then they try it out. And if people aren't interested and their research shows nobody cares about this, they're not going to do it.
I mean, maybe, sure, but people will watch just about anything, right?
Not everything. Dude, the History Channel learned people will not watch anything. They will not watch dry documentaries about World War II, but they will watch people talk about aliens. By golly.
Yeah, okay. Production and, like, content, right? A dry, boring documentary. No one's going to watch that.
Yeah.
But people will watch a documentary that's interesting about World War II.
Some
the content
people,
is different.
but you know what more people will watch? Aliens.
Sure. I'm not arguing that, but that's the same point, right? It's like people will watch made-up shows about aliens we haven't met.
Yes.
Or have we? But, you know, like, people will watch people just eating food on, like, mukbangs and stuff, right? Like, people will watch just about anything. If you say homemade rocket, you don't need to think long before someone goes, someone will watch that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's not a whole lot of market research needed. You just say, someone will watch that, but we shouldn't invest. I feel like that's an easy decision to make.
Right. Now, when I say somebody will watch it, I don't mean 4 people in Arkansas will watch this. I mean, enough people will watch it that it's financially viable and attractive to the person and the people doing it. That's all I'm saying. And it's a bigger example in news, right? I've talked about this. News organizations, if you just present straight news that is only facts with no spin and no perspective or opinion at all, nobody will click on your stuff. That's boring. Nobody wants that. They want to be told their side are the good guys and the other side is Satan.
Well, you know, except for the Satanists. They want to be told they're Satan.
Right, except for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Goddamn Satanists.
But that's what I'm saying. And so everyone's like, well, why are the news organizations all biased and opinion-y and stuff? It's because that's what gets views, man. Fox News is the most watched news channel in the America. And it's because all it does is tell you that the things you believe are right and the other side sucks. And then you get a lot of hate watchers, too, who watch Fox News because they love to hate it, and that counts. And so CNN and MSNBC and all these other people have learned from what Fox has been doing, and they're doing the same thing. And then everybody's like, why aren't there any non-opinionated news sources? It's because nobody watches that stuff.
Well, yeah, okay, but I feel like entertainment's different, right?
Same thing. If people don't watch stuff that they're not going to watch. And you're right. There's a wider range of interesting things in the world for the entertainment perspective. Right? If you're just doing news reporting, that's kind of just news reporting. You don't have a lot of options. But yeah, you could there are tons of things out there. But I'm just saying, like, TLC used to be more educational programming and maybe a little more socially responsible. And now it's just like, hey, look, these guys are midgets. Like, that's all it is.
What's TLC?
Oh, it's called the Learning Channel.
Oh, okay.
When it first launched, it was very much like, let's learn about how crayons are made. It was, you know, it was just stuff like that. And they were just trying to educate people. And then someone along the line was like, this doesn't make us any money at all. This sucks. Let's switch over, try some things until we find what people like. And what they like is, here are weird families. These guys have 27 kids. What freaks? Let's watch them for 4 seasons.
So it turned into reality TV.
Yes.
All right. Reality TV. Worstly named genre of TV. None of
it's real. It really is. It's bad. So, again, this just goes back to
You complaining again.
It's all about... No, I'm just trying to be accurate about stuff.
Feels like complaining.
It's true. I'm getting riled up.
All right. Is there anything else you critically want to talk about right now?
I did want to talk about Narcos a bit. Have you watched any Narcos?
I watched, I don't know, 5 or 6 episodes of the first season.
Oh, nice. Because I watched the first 4 episodes of the first season.
Oh, cool. I watched it, 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I liked it. I just don't know why I stopped, but yeah.
maybe you should pick it up, maybe? I don't know, man. Whatever. Just the couple thoughts that I had were, number one, Pedro Pascal, who played Oberyn in Game of Thrones.
No, he played the Mandalorian, right? That's his most well-known role. No.
Gosh dang it! You're just trying to make me mad now. I know your tricks. So he was born in Chile. He's an American, but he very much can do like a Chilean South American accent, right? So that's what he did in Game of Thrones. Loved him as a character. He was only there for like half a season before he died. Rest in peace, Oberyn.
Spoilers, God.
Yeah. So then in Narcos, he is, I guess he's an American. He's working for the DEA. He probably has a citizenship. But he's definitely speaking Spanish to people at first when you meet him. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Got Oberyn speaking Spanish here. And then he just like switches right over into English with an American accent. And I'm like, what is happening? My brain is exploding out of my skull. He can do an American accent?
He does.
It was great. Well. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, he really does. He's a great character. He's fantastic.
Yep.
Love him so much. So that's one. The other thing is I really like who they got to play Pablo Escobar.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's important to me that Pablo Escobar be played by somebody who is not necessarily conventionally handsome or fit, right? One of my favorite things about the story of Pablo Escobar is that he's like a 5'6", pudgy, random, middle-aged dude who doesn't look like anything special at all. And yet he's like one of the most important figures of all of Colombian history and like super duper rich and terrifying.
Sure, yeah.
So that's one of my favorite things. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I was glad they got some dude who, great actor, fantastic. He's a little too tall, but I mean, you can only do what you can do.
Right.
But they definitely were like, okay, man, I need you to not work out for like 6 months. I need you to eat a lot of donuts, and then we'll start filming. It's great. So I'm enjoying it.
Good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I've been watching a show called Gate.
All right.
Yeah, it's an anime about a fantasy world that opens a gate up to the Ginza district in Tokyo, and then like a Roman military-esque army with like dragons and demons and stuff pulls out and tries to conquer the earth, but the Japanese have guns because it's modern day, and so they push them back.
And it turns out guns do pretty well against dragons.
Yes.
Yeah. No, one of my coworkers told me about this like 5 years ago, and I never watched it.
Yeah, I heard about it on the Co-optional podcast like 5 years ago as well.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know what? I should really like give this a try. And man, is it a lot of fun just watching every time there's a battle, just like all the other worlders being like, man, guns are great. We don't stand a chance. We need to surrender now. And there's like a lot of just fun moments where it's like, all right, we've organized like a peace treaty, but because they don't have radios, they can't tell everyone immediately. So like the peace treaty party is like leaving a town and gets attacked by like the reinforcement warriors that were 2 days away.
Right. Yeah.
And like violate the treaty day one just because they didn't know.
I mean, it's human history, so yeah, happens a lot.
Yeah. Oh god, it's fun. It's a fun show.
Yeah, there are some great incidents in war history where like, yeah, this platoon just never heard about the fact that the war was over, and they're attacking villages and stuff.
Oh yeah. There was one guy who was living in like, I can't remember.
The Japanese forest.
Yeah. It was one Japanese dude who was living in like, some island somewhere. I want to say like around Samoa or something, and he just didn't believe that the war was over, and he was out there for like 20 years killing pigs and raiding villages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they had to like find his commanding officer who was like 95 years old to come out and relieve him of duty.
Yes.
Amazing. Yeah. Communication's a big deal in war, it turns out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been watching a scene from the show here on YouTube while I've been talking. And yeah, like this one girl with like an M16 just wipes out an entire everybody.
Oh yeah.
They're standing there with shields and she's just like pa 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 pa.
It's really good.
Yeah. So what am I getting into if I watch this? Are we talking...
There's 2 seasons.
Oh. That's way more reasonable than I expected.
Yeah, and I think in total it's like 28 episodes, I think.
Oh, that's totally doable. All right. I'll do
And
some of that.
And guess what? It's not dubbed. I'm forced to watch it in Japanese.
Yes. How's that been? Terrible?
No, it's been fine.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Glad you've come around to my way of thinking, Somicron.
Look, if dubs were available, I might.
Aw. You haven't come around my way.
Not quite, not quite.
Oh, that's good. I was actually talking, I guess, smaller tangent.
Mm-hmm.
Guy at my work, he has a little anime figure on his computer tower on his desk.
Mm-hmm.
And randomly somebody came over today and was like, hey, that's so-and-so.
Oh, yeah.
And the first guy's like, my weeb detector worked. 'Cause he's like, so I got this years ago from a friend. And I don't know what it's from, but I just leave it on my computer. And every once in a while, somebody comes around and goes, hey!
He doesn't know what it's from, but he's got it on his desk.
Yeah,
That's
he uses
amazing.
it to detect weebs.
That's amazing.
And then they come by and know what it is. And he's like, yep, got another one. It's like a trap.
Oh, that's great.
It's fantastic. I think it's from One Piece. It's from One Piece, which I haven't watched any of.
Okay.
Because you know why?
12,000 episodes.
Yes. I don't know how anybody starts watching One Piece. I don't.
I have no idea. I mean,
Same thing goes for Bleach. Like, you can't just pick up Bleach and just go. That's insane.
not unless you've got like nothing to do for the next 6 months.
Right. Like, are you going to be laid up in a hospital for 6 months? Maybe you'll have time to watch this entire show.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, it's gross.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be great. I mean, I don't think it is, but I think it could be the best thing of all time. But people are just going to be like, look, man, it's 6,000 episodes. I can't. There's nothing. I cannot watch this.
Mm-hmm. It annoys me that there are shows like Bleach or One Piece, right, that have over 1,000 episodes. And then I'm like, well, but this really great anime has 12, and that's all it'll ever have.
Right.
Oh, God, that's annoying.
But, like, I got to respect the people who tell a story and get out, right? We talk about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing if it's like this dude had a vision, he told his story, it's done. I hope you enjoyed it. Like Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's 3 seasons. It's great.
Yeah, and then they
is
made
it
more.
4?
No,
They made
it's 3 and then Legend of Korra.
Yeah, it's a different story with Korra, though.
Yeah, I mean...
Different story. Some of the same characters, but they're not main characters.
Yes, I mean, sort of. The main character's still the main character. It's the Avatar. It's reincarnation. It's literally the same person.
Yeah, but she's not on.
But it's literally the same person. It's reincarnation.
I just told you.
It's still the story of the Avatar.
Yeah.
And it's significantly worse.
Yes. So this is what I'm telling you. It would have probably been better if they just finished the last Avatar, or Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Possibly.
And been like, we're done, and everyone's like, greatest thing of all time without any Korra to mess with it, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it's different, though, if someone's like, I have a story to tell, and then the network or everyone's like, nope, you're done, and then it never ends, and that sucks.
Right.
Yeah.
There are definitely shows like that.
But I'm just saying. I really think Adult Swim uses Rick and Morty for some psychological experiments.
Probably. Why not?
Like, how long will the nerds wait for more Rick and Morty if they know it's done and we're just keeping it from them?
Right.
Like, how long until they riot?
Never.
Right. But maybe we can if we wait long enough. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's just experimentation.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not arguing that they're not experimenting. I imagine lots of publishers and stuff do that all the time.
Yeah.
But most people aren't going to riot. Like, what do you expect to happen? Oh, I'm going to tweet mean things at Adult Swim and I'll put out Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, people probably are already doing that.
Probably. But how much until it gets a critical mass? Like, you remember when season 3 premiered on April 1st and there were no trailers? There was not, like, they didn't tweet about it. They just put it on the website and they just waited for people to notice it was there and tell the other people about it.
Okay, yeah. What about
Genius. I really think they just use it. They use that particular instance as a way to see, like, can we get a great number of viewers if we don't do any marketing for this at all, and we don't promote it anywhere, we just put it up and have it grow organically from there, right?
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm not arguing that they're not doing experiments.
Okay.
What I think is you are maybe guessing the wrong direction of what the experiments might be trying.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think that's fundamentally kind of unknowable without some insider information as to what they want that data for.
I agree. Yes.
If it was just like... Because it could very easily be like, we just want to see if we can do no promotional material and still have a successful launch of season 2. Was it season 3?
3. Yeah.
3. Or if they were just like, boy, did we blow our whole budget on animation. We can't afford it.
See, but if you're part of an established network already, like Cartoon Network is and Adult Swim is, that's just never a thing. If you're like failing as a network, sure, maybe you don't have enough money for this, but they did. Even if they'd blown all of the Rick and Morty budget, they would have yanked it from somewhere else. If they wanted to market it, they would have.
Well, maybe the experiment is what happens when the network tells the specific show, no, you ran out of budget. Deal with it.
For one of our more successful shows of all time. Yeah. Screw you, we're not giving you any money for marketing.
It worked.
Yeah, it did.
And guess what? Maybe next time they'll do the same thing.
Maybe. I still think the other part of this, and I think what I like more about it, is they did it on April 1st because, man, I just love the concept of... This is what happened to me. I got a random text from one of my coworkers at like 10 a.m. saying, hey, there's a new episode of Rick and Morty today. And I'm like, this is literally it. April Fools. I responded. Because that's how everybody's going to respond. Mm-hmm. Right? It's like if there was a new season, they would have told us, come on, shut up, man. It's April Fool's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it took me like 10 minutes of chatting and being like, okay, fine. I'll go to the website you're telling me to go to. And I was like, holy crap, it's new Rick and Morty.
Yeah. You know what would have happened if my friend had texted me that, hey, there's new Rick and Morty out? I would have been like, oh, really? Because it's April 2nd. Companies should not do jokes on, like, all that kind of stuff on April 1st because it doesn't work everywhere. And I hate that.
I don't have a rebuttal. I'm sorry nobody considers Australia in their pranks.
And New Zealand. Come on.
And New Zealand and, like, Indonesia.
Yeah.
And, like, Japan and stuff.
And Korea. Yep.
Yep. China. Most of China.
Is it even released in China?
Boy, I don't know. That is a hard game to play. We should play that game. Just go through like different popular media. Does this exist in China or not? You have to guess.
We'll have to guess. Yeah. It would be 100% guessing from me.
I know. Idea. Me too. I mean, like, are there skeletons in it?
Yeah.
If there's skeletons, no. But other than that, I don't know, man.
Sure.
It's all nonsensical to me.
Oh, cool. So we ready to wrap this up because we're going to be coming back and doing more talks.
True fact. Yeah. We should. I do want to say Westworld is coming back, and it seems different from what it's been. So just watch this space. I'm going to be watching the new season. It seems more interested in, like, social inequality than, like, robots need human rights. It's really interesting that way. So that's what the trailer implies, because I did watch the trailer because I was on the fence about coming back to the show. And I'm coming back.
All right.
That's all.
And cut. Cool.
Do we want to do the outro?
No, we can do that later. Or do you want to do it now? You can do it now. I'll just put a space. It's fine. I've got my cut.
Now I'm not in the mood.
So easily swayed.
Yeah, I had it for a second, and then it was gone.
Do you get 3 sports ball minutes now? If we got to come back multiple times?
No.
Good.
All right, cool. Well, I'll stop recording then, I guess.